And welcome back. It is the episode that follows week 19 of the Infinity Fantasy Baseball League podcast.
Yes, I got Mike Trout for my fantasy baseball team. Kind of sounds gay. Why? Well, my fantasy team is made up of supermodels and cheerleaders. And in my fantasy, I'm the only man left on Earth. So it's up to me and my lady friends to repopulate the human species. Also, I can fly and I have a gold member.
All right, so we just finished week 19 of our fantasy baseball season. We have 2 more weeks until playoffs. There are still 3 spots that are being fought over by a number of teams, and we'll get to that here in a second. First, I want to go to the game recaps of week 19. So we had an amazing week. This was potentially the closest games of any week this season. And some of these games were meaningful, like playoff spots and seedings and things like that. But, you know, let's first talk about one of the games that didn't have any meaning, really. This would be Shohei Ohtani and Raleigh Fingers, your sister.
Oh, pooh. Read between the lines.
I knew that you were gonna do it, Tammy, so it's not as good.
I get it, Tammy. Pooh, you get that?
What is that?
Little version of this.
This game was a nail biter. It shouldn't have been. Shohei Ohtani should have absolutely devastated in this game. But wait, hold on, we got some clips. Here's some film for after the game. This is Shohei Ohtani's manager going into the locker room.
Gebertirim lan sizi. Ağzını sikinin ilk neleri. Sen oynadığın topumu amına koyup hep yüzünden ağzını yüzünü sikerim sen verdiğim emeklere lan. Ne lan bu rezalet?
All right, so why was that the locker room? Why was that the vibe in the locker room? Shohei Ohtani had to basically pull out every trick in their book to win this game. Here, we got 2 game films. This is from the game. This is, you guys got it? Okay, run the first one.
And you gotta see it because the play.
Okay, so that's the first clip we have. Whoa, where did that come from? I didn't see that. I did not expect that. I think all of us wanted to see Shohei lose, right? We always want the underdog to win. And we have another one, right, guys? Okay, run the second one here. This is crazy.
My heart went My heart just got stuck between these loops. My mind.
Okay, what other games do we need to talk about? The other game that we should talk about is Hit Pitches, Get Bitches, and Team J to the P. Again, Team J to the P has been eliminated for many weeks now. Hit Pitches, Get Bitches is our number 3 seed right now in the playoff brackets, and it wasn't even close. Team J to the P won by 101 points. Hit Pitches, Get Bitches is having some trouble. There's no question. Hey, do we have some game film? All right, we got a couple clips here. Let's roll the first one. All right, so as you can see, Hit Pitches, Get Bitches is having some of the worst timing in fantasy baseball that is possible. We are just weeks away from the playoffs, and she is just getting destroyed by injured players. It is not pretty. We have more game film though, but not to give Team J to the P any discredit, right? Let's roll some film here and let's see what Team J to the P brought to the table. God, yeah. What a beating that was. And it was a good thing that the commish was there overseeing that game, because Team J to the P, he was still going. Like, you could tell. Hit Pitches, Get Bitches was out. They were down. And Team J to the P was still going back for more. Oh, where was that all year? Where was it? Where? That is a sign that maybe next year things turn around for Team J to the P. We have another clip here of the Team J to the P victory over Hit Pitches, Get Pitches. If you didn't see what was happening there, let's kind of zoom in here and take a better look. All right, the next game I'd like to talk about is the Brick City Mules facing ALD3 South.
Uh-oh, Richard. Get.
Again, I did not see that clip coming. ALD3 Sour Grapes and Brick City Mules, and I hate to continue to go down this path, but the Brick City Mules were not able to pull it off. ALD3 Sour Grapes wins yet again, but ALD3 Sour Grapes, I believe, scored the second or third lowest point total of the week, but they got the win. All right, in what was probably the most interesting game from a just upset standpoint, wasn't even Team J to the P beating Hit Pitches Get Bitches. It was the thumping that Matt's Marauders brought down on Red Wine Redbirds. We have some clips of, yeah, we got a clip here. Let's see how this played out.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
A little more game film from the Matt's Marauders game.
Look, it's rigged. They're gonna pause it right when you ain't there, bro. Hold up. I told y'all.
All right, in what should have been probably the week's most exciting game, we had a potential playoff buster here. It was hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons playing Breaking Brad. Any other week, this would have been the game of the week. But, you know, we're sitting with two teams that clinched weeks ago. We've got Breaking Brad sitting at the number 1 playoff spot and hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons in the number 3 spot. It was a great game. I mean, it was a close game, but ultimately Breaking Brad pulled it out and got the win, and you know, not a whole lot changed. I mean, it was a game between equals, and you know, to basically drive that point home, let me show you some game film. This was crazy. This is actual game film from the Breaking Brad hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons matchup. You guys got it?
Crazy.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're a nerd.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're an idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
No, I'm not. You
You
are.
are.
No way.
Way.
Knock it
Knock it
off.
off.
Cut it
Cut it
out.
out.
Oh,
Shut
shut
up.
up, Pee-wee.
Why don't you make me?
Why don't you make me?
Because I don't make monkeys.
Wow, just an Ali Frazier kind of moment. And it looks, as you can see here on the playoff brackets, that it is very likely and almost inevitable for these two to come together again in the semifinals.
You take that back.
All right, so we had two teams that were eliminated this week. One, Bat Flippin' Boys knocked out Mayor of Titty City. With Arizona Diablos Blancos topping Team TNT, as I called it last week, we had another team eliminated.
Jesse, how have you been? I've been great. I'm back, and you're fired.
So we say goodbye to both Team TNT and Mayor of Titty City. It was a great season. You are now eliminated, and we wish you well in the, what do they call it? The Losers League? The consolation bracket. and Juneau Eskimos topped Krusty Brand Baseball. So here's our current standings. As you can see, not a tremendous amount of change, but there is one key thing here. All those teams that were fighting for playoff spots, 6 teams last week, you're going to see it's down to 4 this week. But we see Krusty Brand Baseball, who had a game lead on Bat Flippin' Boys, Matt's Marauders, and Juneau Eskimos. With that 1-game lead, Krusty probably could have clinched a playoff with the victory over Juneau Eskimos, but it didn't play out that way.
It says no touchy.
With their loss, we now have 4 teams all tied at 9 and 10. This is getting interesting. 2 games left in the season, and we have 4 teams for those 3 spots. So also interesting, I received a note in this past week from Breaking Brad. In the note, he wanted me to remind everybody that he's sitting in first place and has only 3 losses. He has never lost back-to-back games, and for the most part, he beats up on his opponents pretty badly. He is very resentful of those 3 losses, and he sent that in the message. And he actually sent it by way of a song that he has composed, and he sent me this video and asked if I would include it. And you know, who am I to say no?
You guys, listen to this song I just wrote. It's called I Hate You Guys. I hate you guys. You guys are assholes. Especially Kenny. I hate him the most. Okay, now let's try one all together. I hate you guys. Come on, you guys know the words.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't weird at all. So let's just summarize where we are. We've done the standings. We talked about the playoffs. We have 4 teams that are vying for 3 spots. So there are 4 teams left.
I think we look hot. Totally hot.
Ugly bitches!
Moo!
And let's say goodbye to those who've been eliminated so far.
Oh!
So let's just do a quick recap here of the playoff situation going into this week. This is updated from last week. You can see here total points have been added, and Bat Flippin' Boys has a pretty nice a lead there on the tiebreaker, so that helps him quite a bit. Matt's Marauders, however, has 2 easier games. Hit Pitches Get Bitches, number 3 in the playoff brackets right now, but not playing well. Not right now with all the injuries.
Tander, Todd Kelly. This was some damage we saw in the background. Michael Caruso, World Championship Wrestling, belting this thing into some form of...
Okay, Rioli, can you get down the rear once you've done that?
Nisanero.
And then Mayor of Titty City following that. So Matt's Marauders is looking very strong, coming off a 500-point week with 2 very winnable games ahead of them. Bat Flippin' Boys might be relying on that tiebreaker. 2 very difficult games coming up. And Juneau Eskimos just trying to hold in there. Win 2, you're probably in. That's what I would have to say. Juneau Eskimos, if you can run the table here in these last 2 games, you're probably got a playoff spot. Don't know who it's going to come at their expense, but that's why we play the games, and we'll find out in 2 weeks from now. Whoa, guys, way too fast. I don't know what that was. Let's slow it down and take a better look, okay? Run the tape again, but slow motion time. That was cool, guys. I like that. That was clever. I didn't know you were putting that together. I see what you did there. You just used Formula One, one of the races, to show the standings, the league standings. That was clever. That was very, very clever. And I think as soon as we slowed it down, we could see what you were doing there. So yeah, if you guys have stuff like that for the future, that's great. I love it. Love it. Love it. Just keep me on my toes. Okay, what's next? Oh, okay, I know what's next. We're going to go to the everyone versus everyone standings. Okay, now ALD3 Sour Grapes, I'm talking to you. I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you directly. I know this isn't your favorite part of the show. This might be a good time to excuse yourself and use a bathroom break and then come back.
What's your name?
Andrew.
Okay. Well, I want somebody to hold me and help me wash my hands.
I think your mom's outside.
What?
Bro, that's mouthwash. I think your mom's outside, bro. No. Can you just... Alright, yeah, that's fine. Can you shut the door behind you?
All right, so everyone versus everyone standings. Let's get the standings up here on the board. All right, so here we go. Here's the week 19 standings as if everybody played everybody each week. And you can see not a lot of change. For the most part, we're seeing the same people at the top. We also know some people had terrible weeks this week, and we had some great weeks this week. Matt's Marauders pushed themselves back up into the playoff picture. So when I say playoff picture, though, I'm not talking about what ESPN is telling us is the playoffs. I'm telling us what the everyone versus everyone standings is telling us should be the playoffs. And this has got to be the more fair version, right? If everybody played everybody each week, there's no luck as to what the schedule is and the timing of your two start pitchers and the timing of your injuries and those types of things. So here you go. You'll see the shaded out gray, whatever, is the playoff teams according to ESPN. On the far right side there, the playoff seed is the ESPN playoff seed. I point this out every time, of course. ALD3 Sour Grapes. They're taking a bathroom break, so I can say whatever shit I want about them. Look at that. It's unbelievable to me how much a difference there is between their playoff seed, according to ESPN, and the schedule that we had and the luck that they've had on that schedule, 6th, and the if they played everybody every week, 14th place. They are worse than Raleigh Fingers Your Sister. I mean, nobody is worse than Raleigh Fingers Your Sister. But ALD3 Sour Grapes found a way to be worse than them. So there were only 2 teams that had a lower point total than ALD3 Sour Grapes. They had 326 points. Their opponent happened to be the lowest scoring point team that week. So I should go back and count. We should do that, guys. We should go back and count how many weeks ALD3 Sour Grapes had the lowest, like 1, 2, 3 scoring team in the league. But anyway, you get the point. You guys are very, very, very much familiar with this by this stage of the game. Yeah, again, if whoever of those 4 teams doesn't make the playoffs, you got ALD3 Sour Grapes and a real fortunate schedule to blame. And hey, I don't want to cause any controversy, but I think the commissioner sets the schedule. So, it's not ALD3 Sour Grapes' fault for the schedule. Not at all. They are doing what they need to do given the hand that's dealt to them.
Look at me, son. It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault.
I know.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
I think if you don't make the playoffs, I think you should file a protest and play the rest of the season under protest and get on the commissioner's back about this because something just wasn't right. Something just wasn't right. All right, that's the end of this segment. And I think at this point, sponsor. Yep, we got a sponsor this week. We're going to go to the sponsor. And we come back from the sponsor. We're going to go to we're going to do AI this week. Maybe, maybe not. We're not sure yet. Okay. And then if we don't do AI, we're going to go to Power Rankings, right? All right, we'll go to Power Rankings if we're not doing AI. Otherwise, we got AI and then Power Rankings. Anyway, a word from our sponsor.
Zazu condoms. Fun, sexy, safe.
All right, now it is time for the power rankings, and every week you get these power rankings, but you don't see what's behind them. It is getting difficult. It is getting very, very difficult to figure out who's at the bottom, who's at the top, and everywhere in between.
Take a look at this. Jesus Christ. That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay? Pepe Sylvia. This name keeps coming up over and over again. Every day, Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail. Well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia. So I say to myself, I gotta find this guy. I gotta go up to his office. I gotta put his mail in the guy's goddamn hands. Otherwise, he's never gonna get it. It's gonna keep coming back down here. So I go up to Pepe's office, and what do I find out, Mac? What do I find out? There is no Pepe Sylvia. The man does not exist.
And I absolutely hate doing the number 16, but I feel like I have an obligation. So this week, our number 16 team is Brick City Mules. Number 5 this week, it could be anybody, right? It might even be a new entrant. Who knows? We had a lot of wins, a lot of losses, point differential issues, high scores, low scores, people having injuries that are just really costing them the future in many cases. So, I mean, could we see a new entrant? Could we see somebody like a point dominating bat flipping boys come into the number 5? I don't know.
Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, as if.
What about, can Arizona Diablos Blancos sneak into that number 5? Red Wine Redbirds, hit pitches, get bitches. Do they slide? Hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons. Where is everything going with this number 5? So let's just go ahead. We've seen what the guys are doing to figure this out, and let's just do the reveal. And number 5, power rankings coming out of week 19 is ALD3's Sour Grapes. Did anybody see that coming? Did anybody see that coming?
Serious?
That's serious.
You said...
That's serious.
All right, now we'll just move on to number 4, and it is, that's right, Arizona Diablos Blancos at the number 4 spot, resuming their strong ways. It is not as if anybody doubted them, but injuries kept them off the list. Now we have top 3. Who are these going to be? At number 3, we have Shohei Can You See? Oh, falls from number 1, even with a victory. How does that happen? Wins, terrible game, terrible point score, terrible differential. Falls to number 3 from number 1.
Get the fuck off! You think I'm playing games, man? Hey, I'm fucking somebody else. Hey!
All right, we're down to the top 2, and I don't think there's going to be any surprise at who's number 1. And but number 2, where does this fall? Who's our number 2? Number 2 would be hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons. Congratulations, hashtag Lawless. It has been a while since you've been up this high, and yeah, congratulations. A solid showing this past week, with a weak showing by your sort of opponent, Shohei Can You See, at least your opponent for the top spots of the power ranking.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too.
Can I promote this, Mommy?
Alright, thank you for that.
Oh, that is brutal. And Mommy is also known as Breaking Brad. Breaking Brad takes the number 1 spot. Probably not a surprise to anybody. That's it for the week. I will say that I really want somebody to knock Breaking Brad off that top spot. It has been too much of a consistent thing this season. Now, Shohei Ohtani was there, but Breaking Brad has resumed the spot after this bad showing by Shohei. 2 more weeks, we'll see how it lasts. And honestly, you know, really what matters is the playoff bracket, the bracket standings. So good luck, everybody. Good luck this next week. I wish you well. Unless your name is Breaking Brad, I wish you well. Breaking Brad, I hope you lose in an epic fashion. If that means your players getting injured, I'm not above that. I'm not going to wish injury on your players, but I will absolutely take advantage of your team injuries or your Wander Franco cases. Let's just leave it at that.
There's only one thing worse than a rapist. Boom. A child.
Anyway, good luck everybody in week 20, and we'll be back in a week to figure out what this playoff thing is going to look like.
Eyes up here. Eyes up here.
God damn it!
You are my best friend, my only best friend. You make me happy, best friend. My guys are best friend. You'll never know your best friend, how much I love your best friend. Please don't take one Santana with best friend.